Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining. I'm Brandon with TCS Basis Controls. Thanks. I just want to give a quick shout out. Thank you to Brody Precision. We just recently started working with them, and more than very excited to start working with them. Done our research, great company, and really look forward to working with Brody Precision. Thank you for setting this up and giving us the opportunity to kind of show off a little bit of our UbiquiSTAT, which I will go over in depth today. Wanted to also just give you a quick overview of a full-blown platform of what TCS does very briefly, and then I'll jump right into the UbiquiSTAT. So with that being said, I'll start presenting. So, all right. So as you can see here, TCS is a complete energy management platform, and we do this through our Ubiquity Cloud. So cool thing is TCS has been doing our Ubiquity Cloud for over 20 years now, cloud-based energy management system. Cool thing is we host our own servers, so we are able to provide minute-by-minute data for you. Also are able to kind of take away some of the IT impact that it has on your company or third-party companies, as we're able to take on a lot of that IT burden through managing that through our own servers. You don't have to have on-site servers. Very cost-effective solution. We charge the same price whether you have 4 controllers or 200 controllers on a site, and it's affordable for a 4-controller site. So very, very cost-effective solution, very advanced solution, and I'd love to talk to you more about that. If you'd like to learn more about this, please contact your Brody Precision contact, and we can set something up. Our Backnet control. So this is what we're going to be going over today, guys, is the UbiquiSTAT. So real cool things about the UbiquiSTAT. TCS, we've been in business for over 40 years. Or well, actually, a little over 40 years now. We're celebrating our 40th year anniversary. Started in January. So everything down to the control board is built right here, put together in the USA. So we don't have any supply chain issues. We don't have to worry really about foreign manufacturing delays. All these stats communicate Backnet MSTP. They have a Backnet IP over Wi-Fi option. The one I will be showing you today, we are coming out on April 17th with advanced dehumidification with reheat. It also has the option to suppress that, and I can get more into that. Built-in humidity sensor. So a lot of really cool things we're coming out with here. But the UbiquiSTAT has really been helping some of our wholesalers provide a ready-to-ship solution for any third-party Backnet system, Backnet controls where they really need to get the projects moving. We can help. Brody can help, and I highly encourage you to reach out to Brody to maybe get a test stat. We'll see what we can do. So, and then our full line of controls. So here at TCS, we do a full line of controls. We have air handle unit controllers, VAV controllers, boiler, chiller, lighting, refrigeration controls, and they can all go into our either Ubiquity Cloud. We have a Backnet version of Ubiquity Cloud where you can bring in third-party or any third-party Backnet system. So yeah, so we do have a full line of controls. We can really handle pretty much any type of building. So that's a little overview of us. And now I wanted to get a little bit further into the UbiquiSTAT. So I am going to show you the screen on one of these guys. So as you can see here, this is our US 4050 model. And this is what it's going to look like immediately when you get it out of the box and hook it up to power. So our 4050 has 3 digital inputs, 7 digital outputs, 2 analog inputs, 2 analog outputs, and 3 RTD inputs. So you can kind of just imagine already what it can do. A lot of people use this. A lot of people even put this model on small air handling units. They can use it for demand control ventilation, the CO2 and economizer control, valve control. It has pre-occupancy purge sequence for, I know that was big in schools recently, 2 modulating analog outputs for valves and dampers, modulating economizer output with digital or OT enable. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with this. And if you have any questions, just please ask us, and we can tell you if it will work or not. So we can work with Brody to get you that answer. So right here, I will point out that you can change any of our digital screens to your logo for a small upcharge, or you can do that yourself by just downloading our Insight software. That's free downloadable on our website. You hit next. This is our quick start wizard. So it's just going to ask you a few basic questions to set up your thermostat. That we don't really like calling a thermostat because it is so capable. It's really a full-blown controller. So you go here, set time, thermostat type. So one thing to point out is every single one of our UbiquiSTAT models does have the option to do heat pump as well. It just runs on the BO terminal, and then you're ready to set up for the heat pump. So we'll keep it in conventional for now. Your system mode, fan mode, communication mode. So now if this was one of our Wi-Fi stats, so it would be our 4150. It would have the Backnet IP over Wi-Fi option. Now, if you select that, it's just going to give you an option like you would search for Wi-Fi on your smartphone. It'd pop up options. You click one, you enter in a password, you're connected to Wi-Fi. So we'll leave it on Backnet for today. Your network address, just type in a value. Your baud rate, you select a baud rate. It gives your device instance number. And then right from there, if the thermostat's pre-configured for what you want, which you could also do in Insight, you're good to go. So you're ready. You just plug this in, hook it up, and you're good to go. So again, this TCS logo can be changed to your logo or to Brody or whoever you want, your customer's logo even. So whatever you want, if you want to offer that for an upcharge, whatever you want to do. Fan mode is an off. We're in idle right now. It's in unoccupied mode, so I'm going to change that to occupied. And then we have it set up so it's going to be occupied until 8 a.m. because right now I think that's the next schedule in there. But you can actually put that on a timer as well. So like when someone overrides it, it's only going to be for 30 minutes, a cleaning crew, whatever you want to do. I will show you this real quickly. So right there, we do have a user set point adjustment limit. I'll show you how you can adjust that right from the stat. You can obviously adjust that through any front end Backnet system, through our Ubiquity cloud system. But right here, I'll show you how to do it through the stat as well. As if you do ever lose control, our stats will work lose communication, our stats will work standalone. The about screen, again, the logo will be changed to your logo if you want. It's a little upcharge for us to do it. Otherwise, you can do it yourself again. You can change your change our website to your website and your phone number. So I know you can really use this to if there's something going on, heat or cool, hot cold call or something like that. They're gonna call you if you put your number in there, and just nice service, nice return service for you right there. So. Some information you got off here. You're gonna see the model. You're gonna see your serial number, device ID. You're going to see your firmware and hardware version. So with our Ubiquity Cloud, with our UbiquiStats, we don't charge for firmware or software updates. We automatically send those out if you're hooked up to our Ubiquity Cloud. Now, if it's a firmware update on your UbiquiStat, you'd have to go into the Backnet settings and our open and commandable Backnet points in our internal Backnet Explorer, which I will show you in a little bit. But you're able to just update that firmware for free. So we'll go home. You got your status screen. So from the status screen, you're gonna be able to see your heating, your schedule, what schedule you're running on, the next schedule, your cool set point, heat set point. And then I don't have this hooked up to live equipment, but if you did, you'd be able to see your outside discharge, mixed humidity, and CO2 as well. Now over here, you're going to be able to see your relay outputs, your heat one is on, and your fan is on. So I'll go over to the advanced screen. You're able to see your operating modes. Right now we're in conventional, systems and auto, fans and auto. As I mentioned before, the analog outs are easily able to set up for an economizer. I'll show you how to do it, but you're going to be able to see your economizer status right from this advanced page. So right now the enabled, it's not enabled. So obviously you have no free cooling available, but the freeze protect is active. So the digital inputs is, you're going to be able to see your digital inputs and your analog inputs and outputs. And if it was hooked up to live equipment, you'd be able to see your milliamperage fluctuating and the percent of it. Excuse me. Your network page, so you're going to be able to see, I don't have this hooked up to live equipment, but if I did, you would be able to see this as green, a green circle connected, and you'd be able to see the activity right there. You're seeing we're in the Backnet MSTP mode, your device ID, once again, the baud rate you're running on. So pretty powerful, just to let you know that, hey, I did hook this up correctly, it's communicating. This stat is wired right. So now getting a little bit further into this, I'm going to go into the settings page. So a lot of this was covered in the Quick Start Wizard. So if you did ever want to change that, you can just go in here and change that. You don't have to reset the whole thing. So fan mode, obviously, system mode, that's stuff we covered in the Quick Start Wizard. Now set points, you can have up to four occupied set points and 1 occupied set point. So, I mean, you could always use an occupied as a different unoccupied set point. If you just want to put it in the schedule, you can kind of manipulate it how you want to. But there is a 1 degree dead band on there, so you're never going to be running in heat and cool at the same time. Your schedule, we actually have a holiday schedule built into the thermostat. So, so you can have up to 30 entries here. So you can enter it in January 1st every year, whatever you want to do. And you're going to be able to set up 2 years basically of holidays whenever. So you don't have to remember to go put it in unoccupied every day. So kind of a nice function there. And then the weekly schedule, you kind of have up to 8 entries, 8 different schedules on here. So really manipulate how you want. You just hit the edit button, pick whatever. If you want weekends, weekdays, not Friday, all, whatever you want to do, you hit next, and then you just edit that however you want to do. So done, save, and that's how you kind of do your schedules manually from the thermostat. Date and time kind of went over already, so I'm going to go to the advanced page. You can see your RS-45 network right from here. You're going to see the mode. You can always edit that again to TCS bus if you wanted to right from here. Your baud rate, you can edit your address and your device instance number. The analog output. So this is where you'd set up your economizer that I was talking about. A lot of people don't believe that you can just set it up this easily, but we made it very simple, point and click to do. So right from this page, you just hit your analog output. You can set it in for your heat, your cool, or your economizer. I'm going to put this on the economizer. So and for the action, you can do direct or reversing. You can do 4 to 20 or 0 to 20 milliamps. I'm going to hit save, direct save. And now the analog output 1 is set up for the economizer in direct action and is going 4 to 20 milliamp. Now, if you wanted to do that in voltage, every single one of our UbiquiSTATs comes with a 500 ohm resistor. You just connect that to ground and convert it over to voltage. So go over here. Actually, analog out display temp calibration. So temp calibration is where you can calibrate your internal sensor, your remote mix sensor, outdoor air, T1, T2, T3. Whatever you want to set the T1, T2, T3 up to, you can calibrate accordingly. Going a little bit further, access code, you enter in a 4-digit access code, not let anybody else be able to get into this advanced settings to make any adjustments that you don't want them to be making. I'm not going to save that for right now for demonstration purposes. System event logs. This is a cool little feature. So the UbiquiSTAT actually logs the last 100 events in there. So if a tech goes on and they're like getting a lot of cold calls and then they're seeing Brad is changing the temperature or lowering the temperature, and then Kevin's saying it's cold, that might be what's happening. So or any type of change, any advanced application change, you could say, hey, why was someone going in here and changing that? So that's a nice little feature. You can kind of go in here and see. And And then the system test mode. So this is a really cool feature for commissioning purposes. So what it does is it takes all control logic out of the thermostat and puts it into your hands. So it's kind of just giving you a warning here saying, hey, you better know what you're doing, because I mean, you're going to be able to open and close, send a milliamperage signals out. So you better know what you're doing. So enter. From right here, you can test your heating, and it kicks on the W1 and fan for safety reasons. Test your cooling, or you can test certain heat too if you want, anything like that. So if you do the full heat testing, cool testing, that takes about 10 minutes and give you feedback. So your economizer, so we did set up analog out one for the economizer. I am able to open that economizer by 0.1%, and you're going to be able to see that milliamperage right there changing. So and if this was hooked up to live equipment, you're going to be able to see your T1, T2, T3 terminals, your mixed air, actually changing temperature to confirm that your economizer is working correctly. You're hooked up right, it's still working. So real cool feature. You're also able to do that with analog out too. With whatever you set it up as, your digital ins, your analog ins, you're going to be able to see that milliamperage going out. So a nice feature for commissioning. One thing I did forget to go over, I believe, is the room temp source. So the room temperature source, you're able to hook it up to internal, a remote sensor, your remote sensor, and the highest this will read is 160 degrees. So that's why we don't have a remote sensor hooked up. And then you can actually average the two on here. So if I wanted to play with it, find a happy medium for Kevin and Brad, I could do that. So nice little feature there. You can weight your averages. I'll keep it at internal for now. Now, the internal Backnet Explorer. One reason why third-party Backnet systems really love to use us as a secondary option to their controls is because our stats are all these 251 points that are built into this stat are open and commandable Backnet points. You can discover them, write on whatever. Anything that we can write on here, you can write on a third-party Backnet system, and you don't have to go to Backnet International, look up all our Backnet points. First off, we'll provide them for you, but second off, when you discover them, it'll come in as what we named them. So, like for example, this would come in as a Backnet point as external time clock. It's not going to come in as a some number. I will kind of go and just change a couple things here just to show you. So like that user set point adjustment limit is defaulted at 5 degrees. I'll edit that, change that to 2 degrees. Go here, user set point adjust mode is on a hold. I'm going to put that on a timer. I don't want them to be able to change that until the next schedule activates. So then right now it's on 60, but you know what? I do like them, so I'm going to give them 2 hours. So now if they go back to that home page, we're going to be able to see that user set point adjustment limit is down to 2, and you're able to user set point adjustments down to 2, and it's going to go back to that to the scheduled set points after 2 hours. Now in this internal Backnet Explorer, that's how you set up kind of your minimum damper position, maximum damper position, CO2 demand ventilation, pre-occupancy purge. I apologize, I don't memorize all 251 open and commandable Backnet points, but contact your Brody Precision rep, and they can definitely hook you up with a list of those Backnet points, or help you navigate through the system for you. So with that being said, that's basically an overview of our UbiquiSTAT. Obviously our Ubiquity Cloud. If you have any questions, contact your Brody rep. I really appreciate you watching this video, and hope we can do business. Hope we can help out in any way. Thanks for joining.